Okay, Reggie. A lot of people in our comment section know that you and Wack 100 are friends, but they always, post and say, why doesn't Reggie speak on when Wack says negative things about Tupac, or when Wack says this, or when Wack says that? So I want to play you this video of some comments Wack made about Tupac and get your reaction.
Pac ain't nobody, bro. Don't get me started on the Pac. Pac had great music. He was a liar.
All I said,
he was a follower. He was a liar. He was a follower. The nigga talked about killing kids.
don't grow.
My fofo, make sure all your kids don't grow.
I think that
he said it.
Say
The nigga go to the bay, he got a Gumby top with a flower shirt dancing. He go back to New York, he got the baggy jeans in the Tim's on. He go to LA, now he blood and MOB and dead in 11 months.
Away with
he was
it,
a
man.
fraud, he was a follower, nigga outside of his music. Pac ain't nobody to glorify.
What he
Y'all
said,
capping that he shot at the police, so you one of them niggas that's gonna say Pac shot at the police too. You that right?
You brought that up.
Shooting at the police is knowing that's 12 undercover squad car walking up on him gunning him. If you shoot at two white boys that you later find out is off-duty police, ain't shooting at the police.
But
Pac was a dummy that couldn't live past 25, who died with 100,000, but had multi-platinum albums. His business wasn't right, his mind wasn't right, and he was a hypocrite on what he was talking about. Black Power, MOB, Paul Root. Nigga, which one is it?
Okay. Well, I really missed that one. I have read all the comments and heard all the comments in the comment section asking me to address it, and I thought we was talking about the alleged thing. I didn't know he had went off like that on IG. Okay, let me address the rape thing. The rape thing, I always said, I know where he gets that from. That's just to clarify so all y'all will know. I just say I know where he gets that from. That bullshit comes from Suge motherfucking Knight, y'all. Okay? There's audio out there. Y'all done heard Vlad talking about it. Y'all done heard Wack talking about it. And I think I might even mention it. That we heard it. And we have it. I have it. Okay? So that's where I know where Wack gets that from. Let me just say this. I never heard anybody talking about it other than the rumor people like y'all have. One rapper from the East Coast rapped about it back in the day. Wendy Williams talked about it on her radio station back in the day and all of that. Tupac Shakur never talked about it. He talked about it in a magazine article and all of that, and where he denied it. His dad talked about it, on an interview when he was asked about it. I'm with y'all. I don't believe it happened because I believe how the prisons and stuff were taught. Now, I know social media is nowhere near the level that y'all living in now and currently that it was in the 90s. We got stuff from newspapers, channels, the 11 o'clock news, and magazines back in the 90s. And the radio, radio stations, DJs and stuff like that. It's all the way that we got our news, especially concerning hip hop. So I know things traveled a little slow back then. My point is, Wack did not ever in life meet Tupac Shakur. So whatever he's talking about, y'all just gotta laugh at. That's an opinion. Just like we all have an opinion about things. About his finances. Yeah, Tupac only had $100-some thousand in the bank at the time. He's just out of jail. He was living like a king, living better than anybody. Any rapper was living in the 90s. Can't tell me one rapper at the time from the 11 months that he was on death row that lived better than he was living. If we just talk about financially and stuff like that. His money came down the line. It was on its way to him where he was going to be getting all that money. So his part about saying his business wasn't right and all of that, he had a whole bunch of legal problems before that. So he's right. Y'all don't like the way Wack explains stuff and say stuff, but he was right. But he was getting it there. He was getting all his judgments and lawsuits and all of that taken care of. And then he was hitting home runs on music. His movie stuff. He messed up. He was beating up directors and was known for being late to the sets and stuff like that. So he's right. But he rectified that. Nobody can say that on Gridlock or Gang Related that was an issue. They were lining up, waiting in line to start back working with Tupac until that unfortunate thing that happened. Okay. What was one of the other things he touched on? He said business. He said his finance. He said he was a great rapper. None of us could argue that. He was. And so I think we get so more upset with how Wack talks and explain things. Because what he was actually said, can we deny at that point? But hey, what we will say about Tupac Shakur, and what I will say about Tupac Shakur now, is who legacy other than Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, and maybe one of the Hendrix, Jimi Hendrix, as a music executive or a music person or a musician is more talked about and more appreciated and more traveled than Tupac Shakur. And so that's what y'all take from that. Y'all got to remember a lot of things people say on the internet and all of that and stuff is just because it grabs the attention. Now, you say, well, Red, how you be cool with somebody to talk? I mean, me and Wack disagree about a whole bunch of stuff. But me and Wack have never disrespected each other to each other's face. And so I can't turn on him or like that because he always treat me and with other people and all that with respect. That's why I don't go off and attack and say things about Wack and stuff like that. Because he always treat me with respect. And that's all the bottom line is you want is to be treated with respect, right? I don't like how he expresses himself, not just concerning Tupac, concerning a lot of things. But that's Wack. That's his, y'all gotta listen to what a person moniker or their nickname, believe it. Believe when they fall. That's what his friends knew about him growing up. That's why they gave him that moniker as Wack. And so that's all I would say on that. It's not that I'm scared of Wack. Wack got anything on me. I have anything on Wack or anything like that. It's just because you treat people like you treat yourself. I can't take on everybody's fight. Tupac ain't gonna take on my fights. Or none of y'all gonna take on my fights. And so you just treat people and you deal with people how they deal with you. I would never let him come on there and say something that's a lie about Tupac. Because I would tell him in a heartbeat. That's his opinion. You didn't know him. So it's not factual. You just stating an opinion, dog. That's what you believe. That's what you saw. That's what you observed. That's what you heard from somebody else. That would be the position. That's why I don't go off or do anything. I just tell, even on other people, I'll just be like, that ain't how it was. Even with Snoop, I'll be like, he's lying. That ain't what happened. But I can't tell you how he feel. People ask all the time about how Tupac and Snoop relationship was when he died, when Tupac died. I always say they wasn't cool during that time. But I do believe they would have made up. They would have rectified their relationship. I believe that wholeheartedly. Because Snoop is a politician. That's how Snoop gets down. I don't think he's happy right now looking down on us, knowing how Snoop and Diddy's relationship is currently, because they didn't ever make up, or even Biggie, or Big Stretch, or whatever. That's why I always tell y'all, love the people, make up with people before they go on, because you never know when it's going to happen. When you're going to not be there, because that's when it ends. Once it ends, that's how the relationship is. It ain't no forgiving. People, you got to been to funerals. I'm sure y'all done been to a funeral where you be looking at that and the daughter and the son or the ex-wife or the wife or whatever over there crying, going crazy, over there hyperventilating and stuff. Because of how fucked up their relationship was at the time. But you can't pull it back. But what you can pull back is when you tell somebody before they die or whatever, I'm sorry. How can we fix this? And that's all I try to preach and tell you youngsters. But as far as Wack, I know that's what the question was about, and I went away from it. Wack don't offend me with all that stuff he talks. Because number one, that's how he talks about every situation on certain things. Now you go over on Vlad, he come on Bone First and all that, then y'all see a different Wack. But when he's on IG or Clubhouse or something like that, and even his new channel with the exposures, even on the exposures, he's the level-headed on that. He let that crazy ass loose cannon be the loose one on that. Y'all gotta understand, this is how he playing the game. This is how he done learned to play the game. He know it pisses y'all off whenever he mention and talk negative about Tupac. And what that do? That gets content. That gets views. And that's all Wack's doing to y'all. All right? So that'd be the only time I address this. I know I didn't want to address it, but as John said, been overwhelmingly people want, well, you check another motherfucker, you'll do this and all of that, but you never would address Wack. Well, generally the person I'm checking is somebody that know Tupac at the time and all that. Wack has never in life, he knows Tupac about as much as y'all do, from buying a motherfucking record or downloading it. Okay?